Second. All right. See you guys on the other side. All right, guys, this is Patrick. Welcome to today's webinar. Really excited to have you here. This is going to be from starving artist to thriving entrepreneur, how to grow a successful art business in 2023 and beyond. I'm going to move myself over to here. So the agenda for today is we're going to talk about your art on a website set up to sell art. We're going to do a deep dive on new customer acquisition. I'm going to talk about the pricing and lineup that you need to focus on. I'm going to drill into the various different media types that almost no one ever talks about. I'm going to drill into merch at a high level. I'm going to show you some customer inspiration, and then we're going to talk about marketing your art and our newest offering, which is called Copilot. And so let's dive right in and get started. Your art on a website. Now, this one is pretty self-explanatory. I think most of you guys understand that you need to have your art up on a website. It needs to be beautifully displayed. It has to have the ability to take orders. You need the ability to be able to print and ship those orders all without you lifting a finger. And your website needs to have advanced marketing features. You need to have the ability to capture leads. You need to have the ability to run sales and use discounts and do coupon codes. It helps if you have pre-order bumps and post-order bumps. We can get into that later. And I don't want to make all of today specifically about art selling websites. I could do an entire deep dive on this that would be really, really crazy. But suffice to say, I've got an incredible blog post on this where pretty much almost all artists go wrong. You can see that behind me, and I'm going to send this to you after the fact. But quickly and succinctly, here's what I would say. The easiest, the best way to sell art, okay, what is it? It's in an art gallery, in person in an art gallery. And there's a reason that all art galleries kind of look like all museums. What do you notice about all of them? It is the art on plain white walls, nicely lit up, and nothing else. Where all artists and photographers get this one wrong on their website is they have all kinds of fonts and goofy colors and slideshows and audio and who knows what else, so that if you actually saw the art, it would be a miracle. So I'm going to send you this article after the fact that's going to walk you through all of the things that you need your website to do. I don't want to make today's session just about the website. We do offer websites as a business at Art Storefronts, and I will send you some customer examples of what ours look like after the fact. But I want to make today's session more about the hard-hitting stuff you don't hear anywhere else, the things that you've likely not been taught, the things that no one discusses. And so that's when we get into this concept of new customer acquisition, okay? So if I was to ask you a question, how many new customers did you acquire last year? Okay. How would you respond to that? And what I normally get is, Patrick, what? What are you talking about? Well, let's define it. Okay. A new customer is defined as someone new that makes a purchase of any product in your lineup. And it can be for any dollar amount, okay? It can be for $5, it can be for $5,000, $50,000, anything in between. The important thing here is that you retain their email for marketing purposes. Now, why is this so important? There are only three ways, count them, to grow an art business. There's bringing new customers in the door, which is the one everyone focuses on all the time. How do I get a new customer? How do I get my art in front of new eyeballs? Okay, that's number one. Number two, it's get more revenue out of your customers at the time of purchase. We call this AOV, average order value. And then the third way is to get existing customers to come back and purchase again, okay? But all of this starts with acquiring a new customer. And in this business, okay, the force multiplier of all force multipliers, probably one of the greatest things about being an artist or a photographer is this notion of collectors, okay? The number of collectors an artist or a photographer has represents essentially the base salary to any business. And what is a collector? A collector is someone defined that will purchase multiple pieces of your art over the course of the years. You keep creating and creating and creating, and they just keep buying and buying and buying. It's one of the phenomenons of this particular industry. And this pyramid here, and I'll get myself out of the way so you can see it, represents this entire business so succinctly. It all starts with a transaction. A new customer is acquired. You do regular and consistent marketing, and that brings them back again. That customer buys again. Some percentage will buy again and again and turn into collectors. When you understand this and how important this is to a business, it fundamentally changes the way you operate your business. You have to make sales to new customers. You have to market consistently to those new customers. Some percentage of those folks are going to turn into collectors, and those collectors are going to be with you for the rest of your art creating life. It is the lifeblood of any art or photography business. I've often explained that it's the base salary, it's the 401k, right? It is what you get paid just for creating and getting out of bed in the morning, but it all starts with acquiring a new customer. And so here's the rub though, okay? Here's the rub. Let's just say you're out there doing awesome marketing. You're creating the awesome art, you're doing awesome marketing. And these folks get drawn into your ecosystem. It could be you did an in-person there show, or you're posting on Instagram or a Facebook post, or your art is hanging in a dentist office, whatever it is. If those folks are exposed to you, your awesome art, and your marketing message, and they leave without buying, they're gone. The math say they're gone for good. They are now watching cat videos, the cat's playing tetherball in this case, and they're never coming back. And it's very, very important to understand that. And so we need to do everything that we can as artists and photographers to set ourselves up to acquire as many new customers as possible. How do we do that? And I'm going to get into that in a second, but I want to offer this framework because I think it's very, very important, and it's not something that you'll hear anywhere else. I like to operate under a 10x new customer acquisition framework. It is your goal. It's the goal for all of my customers at Art Storefronts. It is my goal for you. Number one, here's how it works. You take the number of new customers that you acquired last year. Again, someone that purchases anything from you in which you retain the information, namely an email address, so you can market to these folks in the future. So take that number, multiply it by 10, and that is your target for 2023. Now let's just break those maths down. Let's say hypothetically that you acquired 70 new customers last year in 2022. Okay, awesome. Let's multiply that by 10. That gives us the number 700. That gives us a monthly target of 58 new customers a month and a daily target of 2 new customers a day. Okay, 2 new customers a day. Are you crazy, Patrick? Are you out of your mind? Do you think I'm going to be selling 2 pieces of wall art a day? There's no way. That's crazy. And I'm here to tell you, it's not crazy. When we break these numbers down and we look at these maths, okay, 58 a month, 2 a day, we can start solving for that. It's not some pie in the sky number. What are we going to need to do as an artist or photographer to have a lineup such that we might acquire 2 customers a day, okay? And how we're going to get there is going to be through our lineup, our pricing and our lineup. Now, side note, another thing I'm going to send you after this webinar ends in the email is a podcast episode I've recorded on this. The Art Marketing Podcast has over 500,000 downloads and over 200, I think, iTunes 5-star reviews. So this is a very hard-hitting podcast, and I did a deep dive on this notion of how many new customers did you acquire last year. Anyway, I'm going to send that to you. But I want to get into pricing and lineup. This is the secret sauce of how we are going to put ourselves in a position to be able to acquire these new customers. Some percentage are going to come back and buy again and then turn into collectors, the holy grail of this business. If we're going to hit that 10x goal, okay, our pricing and lineup needs to be set up for best practices. What does that look like? To get this right, to stand the best chance, you need items priced under $100. You need items priced from $100 to $1,000, and you need items priced over $1,000. Additionally, you need to have non-wall art as part of the lineup. Let's get into it. And everyone always responds, why? What are you talking about? I don't have any of that going on. This bell curve here, okay, what I like to call the budget bell curve, is universally true for everyone. It's true for me and my marketing in art storefronts. It's true for you. You're out there doing fairs and shows, let's say, or you're marketing on Instagram, or you're having a gallery show, or again, your art is hung in a dentist's office or a doctor's office, whatever the case may be. You're going to draw people into your ecosystem as a result of those marketing efforts that are going to fall somewhere on this bell curve. Okay, at one end you've got the no budget. I'll get myself out of the way. The no budget folks. Okay, these folks don't have any money. Then you get into the low budget, and then the center of the bell curve, the medium budget folks. That's your average, your sweet spot. Then it goes down to high budget, and then it ends with the whales. It doesn't matter who you are, okay? This is what your audience that you're going to attract into your ecosystem is going to look like. It is incumbent upon you, if you want to get the most ROI, return on investment from those marketing activities, to have prices for everyone on this bell curve, okay? When you do, you're putting yourself in the position to stand the greatest chance to acquire a new customer, no matter where you are, no matter who you're doing, no matter who you get the art in front of. And the crazy thing about this bell curve, what no one understands, it is not a fixed entity, okay? People are going up and down this various different curve throughout their entire lives. And the ones that are on the low end today will probably be on the high end tomorrow and vice versa. So we don't worry about that. We don't have to worry about that. By focusing on our pricing and lineup, we just need to have something for everyone on this curve. And if we're going to hit our 10x customer acquisition goal, we have to have prices for everyone on the curve, okay? Again, this pyramid is the whole ball game. New customers get acquired, you market to them consistently, some small portion become collectors, and those collectors, once you start stacking those guys up, that is how you have an incredibly successful and growing art of photography business. It's just that simple. It's always been this simple. It is just a volume game, the number of new customers acquired, okay? So the non-wall art part. This is so important. This is so critical. So many people gloss over this. So many artists and photographers fail to understand this. Not everybody is ready to buy wall art right now. Not everybody, when you catch them with an Instagram post, or they come to your website as a result of an email, or they see you at a show and there, not everybody is ready to buy wall art right now. So when you only have wall art in your lineup, there are a whole bunch of people that like you, like what you're doing creatively, like the vibe that you're putting out there, and yet you don't have anything for them to purchase because you don't have non-wall art as your lineup. They're gone. They're watching the aforementioned Cats Playing Tetherball video, and the masks say they're never coming back, okay? You have to have items in your lineup that represent impulse type of buys, that represent, I don't have to consult with my significant other and go and measure my wall and do all of these various different things. And so many get this wrong, and it is so critically important. And so, you know, I also have an extremely deep dive blog post. You see it behind me on how to price your art, and it goes into all the various different ways that you can set your lineup and how to think about how to get 0 to 100 and 100 to 1,000 and 1,000 over. I'm going to send this to you after the fact. Totally recommend you read it. It's an incredible piece of content. So putting this together, you know, the new customer acquisition sweet spot is having your pricing and lineup set, having consistent marketing, and having non-wall art is a part of your lineup. When you have that, okay, you've hit the sweet spot. You're cooking with gas. If you look at this image behind me, there's tote bags, there's postcards, there's small paper prints, there's originals and limited editions on the wall. Kelly has hit in this case, all of those variables in one little wall in her gallery, and it is so, so important. But don't worry, I'm going to get into the lineup and explain it. And so it's just critical to understand, if we're going to 10x your new customers acquired, we've got to get your lineup in shape. So let's talk about the 5 main media types that I believe all artists and photographers need to have. They need to be experts on. They need to be able to articulate, and most importantly, they need to have in their lineup. There are 5 main media types, okay? Fine art paper. Some like the textured fine art paper, some like gloss if they're photographers. It doesn't matter, you just need to have one. You need to have canvas, you need to have metal, you need to have acrylic, and believe it or not, wood. Wood is an extremely popular media type, and there's some folks that absolutely love it. And so let's be on hand at all times, and I'm going to get into that in terms of samples in a second. You know, I always use this analogy, okay? And it goes like this. Like, if I was going to hire you to sell kitchen knives for me door to door, when you knocked on those doors, what would you have in your hand? You'd have the knives, wouldn't you? Of course you would have the knives. You would have to be a pretty damn good salesperson or saleswoman to be able to knock on a door with a catalog and say, hey, you want to buy my knives? Here, look at my catalog. No, you have to have the actual media types in your hot little hand. And let me tell you, your customers don't know. Your customers are reliant upon you, the artist or the photographer, to be a subject matter expert, okay? You need to be able to explain the subtle differences between canvas and why it's awesome, and acrylic and metal and wood. We don't know. Normal consumers do not know. You are meant to, this is what you're selling. You are meant to be the subject matter expert in this. And also, never assume you are smarter than your customer, okay? They might really like a certain media type, and you may not even offer it because you don't like it personally. You need to be able to show and tell, and you need to be able to sell. You need to be able to take these 5 media types with you, okay? You're going somewhere in your car, you should have the 5 of them as samples to be able to show off. Going to hang some work in a customer's house, they're getting an original. Why wouldn't you take the samples with you, the 5 media types with you in a little stack and be able to show them off? Oh, you're interested in some art for a bathroom? Well, have you seen what acrylic looks like? Acrylic is amazing. It's a beautiful media type. Very, very important. Also, why it's important to have these 5 media types on hand. Zoom calls, video calls, being able to film them quickly. We have customers on a regular basis. I'm going to tell a story about this in just a moment and show you with pictures. But it is critically important to be able to educate people over a Zoom call, over a Facebook Messenger live chat, or a FaceTime, or however you're doing it, what the media types look like. And then, of course, live art shows, in-person shows, very important to be able to articulate what it is that you're selling. So the good news is that you can get an entire stack of samples, of very, very small samples, and be able to have it with you at all times. They do not need to be big. They do not need to be huge. And I'll grab one up here really quickly and turn my camera on and show you. Like, look, here's a tiny paper print. I'm showing it to you on video. I'm showing you black, wired, ready to hang on your wall. It's beautiful, right? I've got it with me, and it's on my person at all times. And I've got some videos here that I can show you what these ones look like individually, right? Like, you need to be able to show paper. This is the textured fine art paper. You need to be able to show gloss if you're the photographer. Show what the glossy prints look like. You need to be able to show what canvas looks like, and the fact that it's printed edge to edge, and the fact that it's going to hang on the wall and it doesn't need to be framed, and also to metal and how thin metal is. Oh, you're decorating a bathroom. Metal's incredible. It can get wet and sweat. It's not going to be a problem. It's ready to hang. And then so too with acrylic. And so too with wood, okay? It is critical that you have an entire stack of these samples on hand at all times, as well as the fact of you offering them on their website. Now, I've got an interesting story here. I can articulate what this looks like in the real world. And what have we learned so far? Number one, the importance of having samples on hand. You need to be the subject matter expert. Never think you are smarter than your customer. If you don't like a particular media type, it does not matter. Let your customer decide what media type they want. They are smarter than you are. They are the customer. Number three, small sizes are perfect for quick video selling. And then number four, the easiest customer to get is the one that you've already had, right? There's only 3 ways to grow an art business. Acquire a new customer, get more money out of them when they purchase, or get an existing customer to come back. And so this is a customer of ours. Her name's Javelina. Call her Hava. And she had someone interested in a piece of art. And it's a very interesting story. This gal was riding the subway from Brooklyn into the city for work, and she starts messaging Hava, hey, I'm interested in some of your art. And she was interested in this piece to the right, okay? And she's trying to figure out, but I'm not sure. I don't know what media type to get. Should I get acrylic, or photo paper, wood, etc.? And so Hava, because she had her samples on hand, said, no problem. Let me send you some quick video clips and you'll better understand. She sent her the video clips and she made a decision. It was wood in this case. She really wanted to have it because it will sit right on a shelf and be propped up, right? The reason that this sale happened was that Hava had the media types on hand and she was an expert at being able to articulate them. Critically important stuff. Leverage your samples in hand-to-hand combat. Hand-to-hand combat is when you're individually selling, whether digitally or in person. Samples, okay, eliminate the friction of making a purchase. It's why it's so important that you have them on hand. Your job is to just display the options, okay? They get to decide what goes on their wall, or in this case, what goes on their bookshelf, right? And it's fantastic for you, the artist or the photographer, to be the subject matter expert and always be able to go the extra mile to get the sale over the line and eliminate the friction. You know, Zoom calls, video chats, FaceTime messages, text messages, all of it, okay? It all works. Next, I want to get into merch types, right? Non-wall art is a part of our lineup. Critically important. And again, I get back to this 10x customer acquisition, how art and photography business are actually grown. If you're going to be acquiring 2 customers a day, okay, that is heartbreaking. That's like, you have got to be kidding me. But guess what? It's not difficult with merch. That is how we solve for this. It is just really hard. There are very few artists and photographers out there selling 2 pieces of wall art a day. So when you realize that merch gets you there, it changes, and it fundamentally changes the game. And I want to say that it does not matter, okay? It does not matter what the merch is, all right? Us at Art Storefronts, we have a myriad of offerings. There's yoga mats and puzzles and cell phone cases, and there are calendars and greeting cards and coasters and tote bags, a whole myriad of products. Some of my customers hand paint wooden spoons. Some are selling stickers. Some are doing photo books. It does not matter what it is, as long as you have non-wall art is a part of the lineup. These are low commitment, low friction buys. These are ways for the people that you attract into your ecosystem to reward your creativity, because they're not ready to buy wall art right now. Now, I want to show you some customer inspiration, some examples of what this looks like, right? Of the marketing that you're going to be able to do when you offer something that's a little bit different. And you can see I've got I'm going to get my fat head out of the way. There's Instagram handles in here. So if any of these artists pique your interest, you can go and follow them, and you can see how they're doing their marketing. In this case, this is a gal named Candace Seslow, and she does a great job with the tote bags, merchandising these products. She's got her dog in it. It's on brand. She's got this beautiful shot right next to the ocean. Staying on the dog theme for a second, this is Allison Cantrell. She specializes in custom pet portraits, and you can see she's got the pet portrait. She's got a beautiful one on a throw pillow. She's got one on a wood print up on the wall, or an acrylic print up on the wall, rather. Might be metal, actually. And then she's also got coffee mug, okay, with her little dog on it. No matter what, she has got something for everyone on that budget bell curve. And when you offer all these various different merch types, you now have the ability to sell no matter what. Someone can come in, reward you for their creativity, and you will make sales all up and down that budget bell curve. Alan here I love, because his photographs are extremely colorful, and he does a great job merchandising, putting them all together. He's got the tote bag on a bench, and he's got a throw pillow on a shelf in an office, and matching coffee cups. You know, he can layer all of these merch products up like this and sell them as a set, and somebody's got a great lineup of Christmas gifts to give away. You know, these things are beautiful, and they just non-wall art, part of the lineup. You can see how Hava, the example from earlier, how she does it. She does a great job. We need you, 100% of you, to have these samples on hand. Understand what it is that you're selling and be able to show it off in person. So fundamentally important, and yet almost none of you have the actual products that you sell, your creations, in the wall art format, in the merch format, right? Like, normal human beings, not you artistically talented folks, do not have your incredible powers of visualization, okay? We cannot take an image, a 2D image off your Instagram account, and visualize it on our walls like you guys can. We need to see the real thing, the thing that we're lusting after, the thing that we want to have in our hot little hand, right? Like, here is a wood print of your photo of Positano. I need to be able to see that I can put that on a shelf in my house, that it's easy to hang. It fundamentally changes the game when you have your samples on hand, and especially when you have non-wall art samples as well. And so again, this entire equation, it becomes solvable when you have the prices 0 to 100, okay? 100 to 1,000, 1,000 plus. Non-wall art is a part of the lineup. Critically important. And a final point on merch. Like, I get so much pushback from artists and photographers out there. Patrick, I would never sell merch. I'm not going to sell any of this cheap tchotchke crap. To which I reply, when is the last time that you went into a museum that did not have a gift shop? Don't worry, I'll wait. Go ahead and let me know what museum that was. If Van Gogh's art can be on the wall and you can buy a calendar of Stormy Night in the gift shop, or Starry Night rather, in the gift shop, along with everything else, it's okay for you to sell this stuff too. There is a reason these museums have a gift shop. They're businesses at the end of the day, right? So understand the importance of having the non-wall art. And further, you're not going to make a ton of money on merch. No one does, not unless you're selling millions of them. It does not matter, okay? I've spent my life as a digital marketer trying to get folks' attention. In today's day and age, that means the social media sites. It means advertising on them. But guess what? I can only get your attention when you're on your cell phone or when you're on your computer. Your merch products go the places no Facebook ad or no Instagram ad or post or email can, okay? It goes into your customer's real world physical life. They might come from you and buy that pillow that's behind me. And that pillow might sit on that chair for 3 years. And every day they look at it and their cat sits on it. And then guess what? All of a sudden, they're ready to buy wall art. Who is going to be top of mind to those folks, all right, when they're ready to buy wall art? You are, because you got that merch in there. You know, I contemplate the stickers, right? Like, I don't want to sell stickers. That's so cheesy. But guess what? I came to your booth. You were having a show there. I liked what you did, but I wasn't ready to buy a wall art. I bought a package of your stickers for $5. You got my email address. I took that sticker and slapped it on my garage fridge. Now, every day that I go out to my garage fridge to get a drink, you are top of mind. I am looking at your art every single solitary day. And now I'm ready to purchase wall art. I just bought my second home. And guess who's top of mind? It's you. You're the one getting those sales. So it's so important. You have to include the merch. Next, I want to talk about marketing your art, okay? It's consistency, you guys. Consistency is where 99.5% of artists and photographers fail. It is their biggest miss. It's just not marketing consistently. And I get it. It's difficult to do so. None of you like marketing. None of you want to do the marketing. You all just don't want, you just want to create. And you want someone to take care of everything else. And we instinctively know this as a business at Art Storefronts, which is why we've created what we're calling Copilot. And it's the most advanced art marketing system on the planet. It is your art marketing done for you by art marketing professionals, individuals on our in-house team. And what do we do exactly? We post to Facebook for you. We send emails on your behalf. We post to Instagram for you, and we run sales campaigns for you. And we do all of this without you having to lift a finger. Why would we do that? And I'll tell you, it's because you guys are your own worst enemy. Number one, you don't like marketing. Number two, you're tech challenged, most of you. Number three, you're terrified of running sales. You never run enough of them. You're a perfectionist, okay? And the end result of that perfectionism is not posting enough, not emailing enough, and not doing it consistently, okay? None of you do it consistently. A great many of you don't believe in marketing and sales, and so you end up phoning in the efforts because you don't have the courage of your convictions, which is why we created Copilot. And when you combine the best art selling website on the planet, your work, and Copilot, is when things really start taking off, okay? I'm just going to show off a couple of quick testimonials of the results of this brand new service that we're offering, which is blown away. You go from situations where you're not gaining followers and you start gaining followers. Why? Because you're actually posting consistently and daily and several times a day. You go from not making sales at all because you don't believe in the sales and marketing process, and all of a sudden you are making sales. It starts small. It was coasters in Jason's case here. Then you start picking up steam. The marketing goes out regularly and consistently, and you're selling your first original from the website and a couple of canvas prints, right? it heats up from there. Because we are sending emails on your behalf, all of a sudden you're bringing sales up and down the stack, 3 sales in this case, for not even having to lift a finger, right? It starts helping and working immediately. In Ariel's case, she was 8 days into our Copilot service and making sales to strangers, small at first, but that's how it starts. And then it really, really starts picking up steam. Pete here was down sick with COVID and ended up selling 5 pieces because we were running all of his marketing for him. Kim sold over $5,000 in one sale and 7 originals as a result of our marketing efforts on her behalf. So where do we go from here? I've chewed up 30 minutes of your time. 1, thanks for sticking it out to the end of this webinar. 2, I am going to send you a myriad of things that I mentioned, the article on pricing, some podcast episodes on how to go forward on this, a replay of this webinar. I'm going to show you examples of our customer websites. If you sign up with us, great. If you don't, then you'll at least know what your website needs to have and needs to look like. I'm also going to send you some ideas about samples and merch that you need to do. And if you enjoyed this webinar and you found even a little bit of value, 1, I'm going to send you an invite to attend a live session if you'd ever like. Yep, it turns out you're already on the live session, so I don't have to send you that invite. All right, well, thanks for sticking it out with my video. Pretty good representation of a lot of the high-level things that, you know, we're really, really focused on. And you know what's so interesting is that our high-level, above-the-board BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal is to solve the starving artist problem, right? That's why we exist. Very, very difficult thing to do. We started out with the websites. Wasn't enough. None of you guys have a website problem. Not a single solitary person on here. I.e., if I was the genie and I just came out of the lamp and I said, tell me where you want your website moved to, boom, I'll snap my fingers, it's moved. Nothing in your business changes because not one of you has a website problem. Okay, what is it then? It's a marketing problem. So then we went to go work on solving the marketing problem. First, we had DIY education, learn at your own pace, videos, how to do this, that, and the other. Wonderful. No one reads it. No one does it. Then we started doing in-person Zoom classes, kind of like what you guys are on now. Teaching the thing, here's how we do a live art show on Instagram, walk through it, talk about it, okay, everybody go do it. Then we had a calendar that tells you what to do 365 days a year. And that was wonderful because we got a bunch of people actually taking action. And we would do all of these things. We had a private Facebook group and incredible support and all this, that, and the other. And even with all of that, our customers never marketed consistently. They just didn't because it's hard. When life happens, the number one thing that suffers is regular and consistent marketing. That's just a fact. So now with Copilot, we have a whole lot of our customers moving a whole lot quicker. And, you know, we're not the perfect business in the history of mankind. We don't make fish automatically jump in the boat, okay? But what is so interesting now is that we have a whole lot of people that sign up that have never sold their art before, ever. And they don't even know whether or not their art will sell because they've never got it in front of enough eyeballs to actually find out, okay? Like, you know, artists are like notorious for this, okay? Create the art. Don't go show it to enough people to find out whether or not it'll sell. Make a determination in your head that it'll never sell. Then go start working on the new thing. And then that thing ends up piling up in the garage or somewhere else. And so now, rather than our customers not knowing whether or not their art will sell, they actually will find out whether or not their art will sell. And the reason that we can do that is because we're putting thousands through this program all at the same time, and some are getting great success and some aren't. So if you're not, it stands to reason, okay, there might be a subject matter issue here. And guess what? That's totally normal too. Pablo Picasso, when he died, had 45,000 unsold works in his inventory. 45,000. What did that guy know that almost no one else knows is that this is a game of archery, okay? This is your arrow, right? And this is what I like to paint, like what I like to create, and it's what creatively inspires you, and I pull the arrow back and I fire at the target and I miss. What ends up happening then? I should have listened to my mother. This should have been a hobby. Art just doesn't sell. We're in a down economy. All the lame excuses. No, it's totally normal. Just because you love a thing and it inspires you and you created it and nobody wants it, it doesn't mean you're a crappy artist. It just means you picked a subject matter material that no one's interested in. So now with Copilot, we've got a whole bunch of people, instead of spending the next 3 years of their life banging their head against a wall trying to figure out how to market in social media and none of the stuff that they like, they've now found out that it's the product that they're creating that is not generating the level of sales that they want. And so we also now teach our customers how to contemplate new subject matters, new niches, new directions to go in. So very exciting time. I really love our program. Doesn't mean it's easy. Doesn't mean that you sign up and day one you automatically have success. But I feel like more than any other time in the history of the company, we've got our customers in a great place and they're moving forward in their business as fast as we can push them. So exciting times with all of that. Yeah, love the merch too. Like, I get fired up on the merch because 3-4 years ago I was like, we don't want to do this. We don't want to integrate with the merch partner. Merch is ridiculous. I think it's cheap tchotchke crap. And then I did a complete 180 on it because I realized that not everybody is interested in buying wall art all the time. They're just not. Also, the collector phenomenon in this business is absolutely real. Meaning the most important thing an artist could have is a collector. What is a collector? Someone that will buy multiple pieces of work from you over the course of a lifetime. And I got to get this book because I stole it from him. Hold on. Phenomenal book, okay? I am not compensated to tell you this. By Weiland, the whale guy, okay? No fluff. Hard hitting. Why would you want to listen to that guy? Most people would say he's either the number 1, number 2, number 3 best-selling artist in the United States. I think a lot of people would say it's not even close. He's number 1. Bummer is it's not on Amazon. He donates all the proceeds to charity, so you can only get it from his website. But write this down. Go buy this book. I'm not kidding. Weiland defines a collector as someone that will purchase in upwards of 7 pieces from him over the course of a lifetime. So he keeps creating, keeps raising his prices. These people keep coming back. So why did I bring that up in the context of merch? The only way that you can start building collectors is by making sales. And if you just have wall art and high-end wall art and not the prints and not merch, there's a whole lot of people that love what you do that are going to leave and they're not coming back, right? But when you make that sale, you get a beachhead into their life with your art and it becomes that much easier to get them to come back and purchase again. All right, enough of my ranting. We'll get into Q&A. How do we do it? So if you're one of the brave ones that has your camera on, usually I'll see that. You can just raise your hand. Okay, I'll grab you next. For everyone else, at the bottom of your Zoom window, there's a little smiley face here. It says reactions. If you click that thing, there's a way to raise your hand digitally speaking. Okay, John's just done it. Thank you, John. Lets me know that you have a question, makes it easier. It gives me a cue. I usually prioritize the hands up first, and then I go into the chat, and then I'll also come to Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. I see all you guys too. What's up, Jim? Good to see you. Thanks for saying that. An awesome trait. Okay. Going to start with John today. Let's get going. How you doing, John?
Hello?
Yep, gotcha.
All right, cool. So,
by the way, loved rocking the tie-dye, huh?
I love me some tie-dye, man. I live down by the shore in New Jersey, so, that beachy feel kind of brings people into me a little more.
Throwback special. Let's do this.
So, I just recently dived into merch. I'm actually struggling with it because I actually set up an Etsy storefront to sell because I don't have e-commerce on my actual website. jdubsarts.com is just a gallery.
Okay.
And I'm doing direct sales. But with the merch, are you suggesting that we start doing the merch ourselves or third party through, say, companies like Redbubble and Printful and Shopify? Because that can be time consuming too. You have to set up each individual item, I've noticed.
I know. So let's take it as a couple of layers. One, at the highest level, you have to have it. You have to have something non-wall art related, okay? And that's the first thing. And it's like, I have some customers that hand paint wooden spoons, and that's their merch, right? But they have something, right? They have something that you can get on the lower end of the scale. That's number one. So, okay, good. We're in agreement. You need it. Number two, the fulfillment of it is a huge pain in the butt. I know that. We integrate with this company called Guten, and so it's all print on demand. You don't have to have any inventory. You can check them out. If you sign up with us, it's a one-click. You have the choice to choose and all that.
Okay.
Yes, it's a pain in the butt to go through some of those other ones, and yes, it's a pain in the butt to drive the traffic there. But really, you have to have it on hand so you can show it off, right? You have to have it on hand, so that you can do a video and be like, you want to have your coffee on such and such? I'm having a flash sale on mugs for the next 24 hours. All that type of marketing material. And if you're going to use one of those other companies, sometimes you're going to need to have on hand inventory, but you need the website and you need the inventory. So, yeah.
Okay. And someone just said in the chat, I was actually asking the same thing. How do you spell gluten?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Let me
Is
make
that-
sure. Let me make sure. Yeah, hold on. They're all essentially the same, right? Like,
Right.
like we get. Yeah, that's right. You had it right. Whoever put it in the chat, it's right. Gooten. Like,
Okay.
they're all the same. Okay, like the majority of the companies. I'm talking about Redbubble or Guten or there's another one that everyone uses. I can't remember what it's called right now. Anyway, Printful. It's not. I mean, some of the items are better than others, right? It's not the highest quality. This, that, or the other. It doesn't matter. Like when you realize it's just about acquiring new customers, and you realize it's just about marketing and making a sale and getting an email address, then you get past it. But the beauty is, like, do you know how hard this was to do pre-print on demand days, where you had this like 500 order minimum? You have to inventory that crap in your garage or whatever else. Like, you have to take the print on demand with what it is. Like, it's glorious not have to worry about any of that and just boom.
Absolutely. One of my biggest sale items currently, I became big on another new social media app called Clapper.
Mhm.
I started getting creators to send me their faces, and I made a coloring book out of everyone's faces.
I love that.
Listed it on Amazon.
Yeah.
I've sold about 45 copies worldwide.
Nice.
And I mean, it's great because you pay $3 for a book, you sell them for 15, 25 bucks. But yes, some of the publishing houses, they want you to order 500 books to start off with, and I don't have space for that, let alone the capital.
Yeah.
So yeah, drop shipping's been the way to go for me, through Amazon in this case.
Yeah. Now, you have a show coming up tomorrow, you said, right?
Yes, I got invited to an in-person on the beach art show.
Okay. You're not going to have the time to read this guide between now and then. I'm going to email it to you after it's over, but you got to read this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Okay.
chocked full of tradecraft that it'll help you out significantly.
Okay.
And you should sign up, but you already know that, so just on your time.
Well, me and my wife are both the artists of the studio, so once me and her discuss the logistics of signing up for your services, it might be a thing. We just got to find we got to find either a grant to help us catch up on bills, or sell some stuff tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Sell some stuff tomorrow. I know. And we're in dodgy economic times, without question, right? So.
Yep.
All right, good man. Thanks, Sean. And yes, don't. Other people were asking. Yes, I'm going to send it to absolutely everyone. Thing is awesome. Like one of my proudest pieces of content I've ever created. Carolyn, you're up next. And you'll need to unmute, Carolyn. Mic icon, bottom left-hand corner. I'll let you know when you get it. Yep.
Gotcha. Here we are. Okay. Yep. My question follows his. Can you give me some idea of the process involved in doing this merchandise? We contact Guten, for example, and then what's involved? What costs are involved? Yeah.
If you do it through us, we take care of all of it. Obviously, if you do it on your own, then you can use any of those sites: Zazzle, Redbubble, Guten, and you go up.
So we just create a design and ask that it be put on napkins, coasters, whatever. Is that how it works?
You just upload the photographs of your work, and that's that.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. All right. Eric, oh, sorry, I muted you. Hold on. I'm going to unmute you again, Carolyn. You might as well ask again because you're right there. You need to unmute again.
Question about videos. What kind of video support do you give us? I've never done a video. It's going to be the best way for me to market because I'm very good on visual media, television, radio. I've done tons of it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know how to do a video. I don't know how to create it. I don't know how the lighting should be. I don't know all those technical things.
Do you have a cell phone?
What kind of it?
Do you have a cell phone?
I have a cell phone, yes.
You're ready to go right now then. Do you have an Instagram account?
And with regular ordinary lights?
Oh yeah.
Don't need special lights.
No, you don't need special lights. You know what's so funny is like the mental model, the takeaway of the whole thing is you like literally cannot create enough of them, and production value no one really cares about at all. And I say this as someone like there's no marketing advice that I give that I don't genuinely like live myself every single solitary day. And I'm getting my cell phone up on the screen so I can do show and tell on this. But I want to show you guys right now. This gives you a taste of some of the kind of stuff that we teach on a regular basis. All right, hold on. I'm going to move this over here. Now, I do this every damn day, all damn day. So of course I have some bells and whistles and tricks, right? Like, you know, this background behind me is not a background, right? I'm on a green screen, but that's okay. That's neither here nor there. I want to show you.
That's what I need to know. Okay, go ahead.
You don't need the green screen.
Bells and whistle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm on Instagram right now. By the way, do you see when he posts have either my face or the founder's face or someone else's face? Like, we do this all day long. So I want to show you how this works right now. I'm in the Instagram account. Here it is. I'm going to go live. There I am. There's my green screen. What's up, Instagram? You're probably wondering why I'm going live right now, and I'll tell you why. Because Carolyn Klein needs to see just how damn easy this is to do, okay? You don't need any fancy lighting. You need any special things. No tricks, no tips. You grab the camera. You have something to say. You start showing off your art, merchandising it, and you see what type of an impact you can make. Perfect is the enemy of execution. You just got to start shipping these things and see how it goes. And the beautiful thing about doing an Instagram live, just tradecraft, okay? I can end it now. If I go to share, okay? I can give it a title and click share. And I'm not going to do it because that one was just a nonsense one. But I want to just show you how powerful this is. Get out of there. I might have to quit. Oh, yeah, discard video. Okay. Might as well just complete the tutorial. So here's an example of one of these ones that I did, okay? Here's one that I did. It was in my garage. It was a live broadcast. I did it for 12 minutes. I shared it, okay? It became a reel on Instagram. And then I can go and grab that video that I just created. I can add it to a story, okay? I'll turn this sideways. I'll put some stupid sticker on it. Let's just say, ooh, done. Okay? Done. Share. In 5 minutes time there, I just created a live broadcast. I just created an Instagram reel that's going to live in my Instagram feed in perpetuity. And I just created an Instagram story. Do you know how efficient that is? That's insane. So you could do that right now on your couch, in that kitchen. It doesn't matter. Go get your art and let's do it. I'll wait.
Okay.
Go get it. And I'm going to take the next question while you get ready.
Yeah. Okay.
Good. All right, Eric, you're up next. Go ahead, Eric.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, I was wondering, kind of along the same lines with Amazon, what do we do for already kind of starting to use the Amazon merch or looking into that? Do you just can we forget about that?
Yeah, you could. If you signed up, you would just move on to our platform and it's one less thing to worry about. But right now, all I care about is that you have some, right? Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
all right.
It's so funny too, because we have this Facebook group. We call it Small Wins. And, you know, being an artist is, most are solopreneurs, okay? And if you're an entrepreneur of any stripe, let alone a solopreneur, the damn ups and downs of this business are hard, right? So you need bucking up when you're down low. So we call the group Small Wins, and we encourage everyone to post their wins. And I've got this guy. Let me just see if I can find the damn thing, because I want to show it off, because this is just so telling. And he fought me forever, okay? He literally tooth and nail, all the normal stuff that you would think, right? Like, I'm not. Oh, here, I got him. I found him. Hold on. This will be hilarious. You guys are all going to get a laugh out of this. All right, hold on. Just want to show you this. All right, I have to get rid of that. Bear with me. I wasn't ready to screen share. All right, you're coming up. There we go. When I went live 4 months ago, almost to the day, I said, I'm not offering merch. It cheapens my fine art brand. Well, one of the workshop videos pointed out every museum, all the whole pitch I just said. Okay. And so next thing you know, he sells some merch. All right. He gets on a conversation with the girl. 45 minutes later, he's got a second order for a canvas print totaling over $400. Right. Like, that is how it happens in the real world. The merch is a beachhead. It is a lower ticket commitment to reward you for your creativity and just get in there. So I'm crazy about it. Big deal. So yes, that's what you would do.
All right.
All right.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Should we see if Carolyn's ready to go? Are you back, Carolyn? One of the things that I have to do on a regular basis to like get my customers to do things is exactly this right here, which is why I'm harassing her. And it's kind of fun on a Friday. Let's see if we can get her to ship her live. All right. Do you have your?
I have that on the wall, on my wall.
Good. Do you have the Instagram pulled up?
I don't have an account on Instagram.
What do you have? Do you have Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay, pull up Facebook.
Oh, on my phone or?
Yeah, on your phone. On your phone. You're going to use your phone.
Oh boy. Use it on my phone.
I actually don't have Facebook pulled up on my phone, so I can't show it from scratch.
I don't even know if it's on my phone.
Yeah, it might not be. Here's what I'll do, Carolyn. I'm going to send you. I have an ultimate guide on how to do this that walks you through the entire thing step by step. I'm gonna send it to you, but I want you to start an Instagram account. You need one. All artists and photographers need one. The way that I like and I'm pulling this up right now. The way that I like to talk about it, it's like you know how when we go shopping, and I'm gonna mute your phone. I unmuted someone I should know. Where's that noise coming from? There we go. You know how when we're contemplating making a purchase and we're going to go read like reviews on it. Like we're thinking about making a purchase, right? So we go to Amazon and we read the reviews. Is this something I want to buy or don't want to buy? It's kind of like how you credit check a product. You know, you credit check an artist or a photographer. Are they serious? Do I want to do business with this person? Yeah. You go to their Instagram account. Okay. That's how important it is. Now, where is this doggone thing? Is it Ultimate Guide or something? Quick Start Guide to Live Art Shows. I think this is it. Boom. This is it. All right. I'm going to throw this into the chat. This thing is in-depth. It is step-by-step, and it'll walk you through the whole thing. And I like literally go through every single solitary step, the equipment that you think you need, how you take payment, where to stream. There's like an in-depth step-by-step tutorial.
All right,
on
guys.
How you go live on Facebook.
As I mentioned before,
I do the one on how to go live on Instagram. We'll walk.
All right,
let's talk about how easy. By which I mean really easy. Really easy. Okay. So that's in the chat, and I'll email everyone that thing after the fact. All right, let me get back to the gallery view. Who else got questions? Did anyone have a hand up that I didn't see? Could be anything about anything. You guys are a shy bunch on a Friday. Eloise is sharing her Instagram handle there. Fantastic. Oh, Carolyn, look at you coming back. All right, I'll take it. Go ahead. You got to unmute again, my dear. Mic icon, bottom left-hand corner. You'll get it.
Is all of this a part of the bronze level website function?
All the marketing, teaching, and cajoling, and sometimes harassment on my part is available on all places.
Yeah. Okay, terrific. Thank you so much. You're great.
No, thanks. The whole thing is like, I know that why we invented Copilot in the first place, right? Like, you don't get missed days back. You don't get the missed days back. If you didn't put any marketing effort that day, you ain't getting that day back. And that's why Copilot's awesome, because it does it consistently. But otherwise, on whatever it is, if I don't get my customers to do it right then and there, they're going to miss that day. And I don't want you guys missing any more days. It doesn't matter, okay? All of us live in normal houses, all right? We have normal jobs, okay? We have messy interiors. We have pets. We have all the same thing. No one cares, okay? We all got to just get on with it. Show that we're a normal human being. I mean, John's rocking his tie-dye, right? Like, we all have our weird things going on. Who cares? Nobody cares. It's all part of our personality. Start working on it and get the art out there, you know? That's a game plan. That's how I like to go about it. All right, who else? Who's next? Who's brave enough? Alan, Tim, Joshua, Rick, you guys have been brave with your cameras on. Lisa, gotta have some question about something. About anything art-related. Everyone's like, I don't know. All right. Theron says, I'm always learning more with these chats, so thank you. Okay, cool. You've been to some before. Awesome. All right, John's coming back. Good, John. Appreciate you taking advantage. Go ahead.
I did. All right, I muted myself.
Yep.
So, I am, like I said, two artists in one studio.
Yeah.
I focus on subject work and doing like scenics, fan art. My wife does more abstract pours.
Yeah.
We do the same size canvases, but pricing tends to be a little bit of an issue. And I know you said you're planning on sending out a, how to price your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
but how drastically should we differ between her acrylic pours that take 30 to an hour to produce, to like mine that take 3 to 4 days, sometimes a couple weeks?
Yeah. So the beautiful thing is, one, I would not do 2 separate sites between the two of you. I would combine the two because you're husband and wife. It works, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, great, done. Number 2, the beautiful thing about pricing that no one understands is, and I love it, because you Google this and what do you get? A bunch of formulas that are like, $150 per square foot times material times 4 hours in. What a load of bullshit. Okay.
Board of labor rates a fine artist at such and such
break.
amount. Yeah.
Give me a break. The only thing that matters is whether or not the art sells. Okay. Everyone has to come to terms with that. And there is a price that it will sell, and there's a price that it won't sell. And once you understand that fundamentally, you realize why any stupid formula is so ridiculous. So the beauty is that when you reverse engineer the entire process, it's when it works. Okay. Rather than thinking, well, this is what I should charge for this, and this is what I should. No. You work with this framework: $0 to $100, $100 to $1,000, $1,000 plus. I also like ridiculously expensive things in the shop too. And the reason is that human beings are wired to make decisions based on comparison. Okay. Based on comparison. And we anchor on to what something costs. Oftentimes it's really expensive in a shop, and it makes us feel better about what's in the middle, but it also lets us understand where things fall in the range. Okay. So when you're in a situation like you and your wife's, all you're going to do is the two of you are going to sit down and you're going to say, this is the range that we need to have. What is her most expensive piece? She sells it for 20. I'm going to say, put the price on one of them, and you might not ever sell it. Doesn't matter, for 50. Okay. So now we've got an anchor at the top end. Now at the bottom end, very easy to solve the 0 to 100. Okay. Your merch, maybe some of your really small paper prints in there. Okay. 100 to 1,000, also really easy. Right. The various different size of canvas and metal and acrylic, the different sizes. Let's say once we get up to $1,200 to $1,500, okay, we're going to start our limited editions, okay? And then the originals are going to start going there. So once you start slotting in what's going to go where inside that framework, you'll have an aha moment. You're like, that's going to go there. That's going to go there. That's how we're going to step up to this higher level value. And once you have that pricing ladder, like, it's so easy to, one, no one makes any stupid lowball offers anymore, okay? Which is so deflating, right? Like, you work 30 hours on something and they're like, yeah, I'll give you $25 for it. It's like, you want to. Yep. Now they'll do that less. When they do it, be like, that's awesome. That's not quite in that price range, but let me show you what I have for you in that price range, right? Oh my gosh, it changes everything. But it gives you a very easy way to step things up all the way up to however expensive it is. So that's the best way to approach it.
Okay.
Yeah. And
good to know.
Read the guide. The guide will walk you through it. Like I said, it'll come in your email. Okay, Rick, you're up. Go ahead, Rick.
Hi there. Appreciate all you're doing.
Oh, thanks.
I got a question that might segue into just the prices. I noticed on one of the sites that kind of brought me to this Zoom call on one of your clients, your customers' websites, the max I could find on there was 36. Can you tell me, are you interested in sharing who you use, or do you print everything in-house? And what's the biggest piece you can get in the different materials?
Great question. So we have one on the West Coast, one on the East Coast. The one on the West Coast is Bay Photo. The one on the East Coast is called Graphic Dimension. They're both about the same size company, which is to say huge. Graphic Dimension and doesn't have like a forward-facing retail type of a shop like Bay Photo does. Bay Photo is a much bigger brand. They all have the same printers, and so they go as wide as they can. After that, when you start getting into the specialty, like, is it 48 inches or 62 inches the biggest? I don't know. After you get to whatever the biggest size is, then you have to start combining them, right? Because none of the printers print that wide. So you can go as wide as you want that's within the realm. But once you go to the combining two things, then it becomes a little bit more of a specialist thing. But you know what I've learned is, like, you don't want to go too big because there's not many people that have that wall space, right? Like, they just don't. And I use this example. I'll pull up the work because I like it. This guy's become like one of my really, really good friends, and he's been a customer with us for a long time. He's an incredibly talented artist, and he decided to do a show. He's up in Quebec, in a place called the Vault. Anyway, French Canada. And he did this series, which were pieces like this. And I should get one where he's sitting next to it because they are gigantic. And this is a guy that normally sells out like instantaneously. And he really struggled to sell because no one has a house with walls that damn big. You know? So your sweet spot is always going to be the smaller sizes. Don't stress too much about the bigger ones. That's what I would say. I don't always look at my customers' websites because not all of them follow my damn advice all the time. It's a constant battle, especially with the pricing. Did you raise your hand again, Rick? Yeah, go ahead. Gotcha.
Yeah. Just follow up. Yeah, I appreciate it. Bay Photo, I haven't used them, but yeah, they do plenty of big stuff.
Yeah.
Reason I ask is I've been working with a hospital,
Mhm.
and one of your customers is that Jim Livingston that seems like we got some similar styles, and I've got a few in some local hospitals. But one of the fellas that definitely has has the foot in on, I'll say, one of the main hospitals I like, is printing on what looks like nylon type material. It's a printed material that is just a very thin metal frame around the edge. Are you familiar with this at all?
That one I know, but it's not surprising. I'm not the print expert in our organization by any stretch. So, yeah, I wouldn't worry about that though. Like, you know, this is the same thing I say all the time. The only thing you need to worry about is making the damn sale. Everything else is easy in comparison, right? Like, even if you have to find a specialized printer that does specialized things, totally okay. Don't worry about it. Get the sale. You can get anything made anywhere, even if it's not through us, right? Like, make the sale, make the sale, make the sale. It's like, you know, the constant thing. Everyone's like, well, how am I going to ship things internationally? I'm like, do you have any international orders? And they're like, no, but I want to be ready when they come in. I'm like, don't worry about the international orders right now, okay? It's like, don't open the bank account until you have the first check, okay? When you have the first check in your hand is when you need to open the bank account. Don't worry about the bank account until then. We'll get to it after then. I got you, Josh. And I see you, Carolyn. I'll circle back to you. Don't worry. I got on mute, Josh. Mic icon lower left, but yeah, I see you.
My question is, will your teachers how to turn followers into paid people?
Yes, we teach you a number of strategies on how to do that. Whether or not it happens has everything to do with the work and less other things. But
Okay.
yes, yeah. You know, I have a whole. I'll pull it up actually. It's because I've got it right here. And your connection's not very good, Josh. I muted you. If I look on Instagram, where the heck is it? It's recent. No, that's not it. Aha, this one. Okay, so it's how to turn buying questions into selling conversations. It's right there, this black one. Oh, you're not even looking at my screen. That would help. This one right here, the black and the orange, that will turn buying questions into selling conversations. Go onto Instagram. Go onto Instagram and watch that one. But I also have a whole podcast episode on it too, which is really good. Okay, Carolyn, you're up. And Josh, your connection's really, really bad. We gotta get a better speed on that thing somehow. I'll stop your video. I'll see if that makes the connection any more stable. Okay, go ahead, Carolyn.
A technical question regarding the pixels. I have a number of works that I would like to sell. They happen to not be here with me. The photographs I have were done years ago on older iPhones. They probably do not have whatever pixel number. I mean, that's not my thing, pixel numbers and all of this. What can I do with them? In other words, I tried to upload some of them to other sites, and they said there aren't enough whatevers.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's an issue. There's not a whole heck of a lot you can do. You have to get the work photographed. But the good news is that where's the work? You said it's not with you. It's somewhere else.
Yeah, it's in Paris.
Yeah,
it's a little difficult.
Not really though. What I would do is like, is it in a storage bin or is it someone's house or is it where is it?
It's in storage.
So I would have a friend in France, in Paris, say, hey friend, I need you to do me a solid. I'm going to put an ad on whatever the French version of Craigslist is, and I'm going to put a call out for a photographer that has shot artwork before. If you do this in the United States in any major city, you'll get like 50 people to respond to the Craigslist ad, by the way. They'll charge you probably anywhere from $10 to $20 per piece, and you have that person open the storage bin, someone can knock the entire thing out in one day and then send you the high-res photos. Easy, done. It'll be like $250 and all your work will be photographed. Cheaper, certainly cheaper than flying into Charles de Gaulle. I'll tell you that much, Carolyn. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. What else is in here? Yeah, there and so you're on with Andrea. Andrea's awesome. I know she's great. In the future, elephant in the room is the assistance of AI. I don't believe the elephant in the room is the assistance of AI in the slightest. I think no different than, you know, the original Luddites back in the flour mills when they started, you know, utilizing wind power and the like, that as it pertains to AI, you can either have an abundance or a scarcity mindset. And so I choose to opt on the abundance mindset, certainly. I think, you know, in terms of art that's generated by AI that is being sold at places like Bed Bath & Beyond or like Walmart or like any of those types of stores. Bed Bath & Beyond is a terrible example because it just went out of business. But, you know, decor that makes it high print totals that goes into shops, yeah, that's going to get displaced by AI pretty hard. But most of you guys can't even name an artist that's in there. It's a very, very small amount of artists that get into that world anyway. I don't think AI is going to disrupt the normal mom and pop bread and butter artist because everybody wants art and understand who the artist is and understand who the photographer is and to be bonded to that person and be bonded to that folks. So I think AI only helps. I don't think it's gonna literally hurt anyone. I really don't. And I'm mega fascinated on it. I think, you know, for instance, okay, let me just give you a for instance. I'm gonna run this 2-hour session today or 3-hour session today, right? As soon as I'm done with the session, I'm gonna send this video to AI. The AI is automatically gonna scan the entire video. It's gonna give me a transcript. It's gonna rip the video into a bunch of smaller little videos, which are gonna give me videos that I can post on social media, and that's gonna take me in sum total an hour. Before, that would have taken someone on my team like 3 days or 2 days to do, and now it's done in an hour. So now my output as a human being has essentially gone like 10x. That's insane, right? Or whatever the multiple is. That's insane. And so I as one individual am now producing way more than I ever would have before. And I think that's one of the joys of AI for all of us. It's going to be incredible. Yeah, Shane, Smug Mug and I, it's not even close. One, their websites suck. Two, ours are much better set up to sell art. And then more important than the website is we teach you actually how to drive traffic to it and get eyeballs to it and how to market your art in the business versus Smugmug doesn't do any of that. Yeah, and it has way too many options. Analysis paralysis, so to speak. That's how it works. But all right, guys, who else? Questions? Comments? Concerns? Before we wrap it up, I will send you a replay of this thing. I will also send you... what else do I want to send you? All those links to all those bells and whistles I talked about. Great articles, great one on pricing, great one how to run in-person shows and fairs. Totally recommend you subscribe to the podcast called The Art Marketing Podcast. Do I even have it on here? This is just kind of my display phone, so maybe I do. Maybe I get lucky. And you'll know you found it when you see the ugliest logo in the history of mankind, which is that one, okay? So definitely recommend you subscribe to that. It's good. It's anywhere you listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify, and you know, you can be up to date with a lot of the cool stuff that we're doing. We do a ton of live sessions, both myself and the CEO and our director of growth all the time. And anytime you want to pop onto one of those, you have any questions about anything, do not hesitate. Love answering those things in real time. You can certainly come back to one of these, running these guys 3 days a week. What else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Really got me going this week. It's always something, I tell you. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there. Unless any of you guys have a final question before we go. Can be anything about anything. Yeah, Shane, did you put in a demo request? I'm gonna unmute you. Yeah, you have to hit the phone button. Oh, I am getting called. Are you asking or you are getting calls? You're still not unmuted. You still got to hit that mic icon. Sometimes you have to hit it twice. It's still not working, Shane, for some reason. No. And no, John, Guten, you can sign up for Guten tomorrow. I think. Pretty sure. Lame. I don't know why it's not working, Shane, but it's not working. Are you asking to have someone call you, or are you saying someone is calling you? You have to throw it in the chat because I can't hear you. That's how it goes sometimes. I'm trying to think what else. Is there anything that I missed covering? I think that covers it. Yeah, I keep pressing unmute. So I don't know why it's not working for you. Sometimes the phones go a little wonky with Zoom, and there's not a thing you can do. Yeah, normally what happens, Shane, is your mic. He called in response to my inquiry. Says host has me muted. Just throw it in the chat, Shane. If you want the guy to call you again, I can do that, or if that's what you're asking, or tell him to stop calling you. We can always do that too. Lord knows my people are persistent. Almost as persistent as I am with the emails. How many emails do I send? Too many. Now, in all truth, I am not the one that sends all of them, but how many emails does my team send? Too many. Yeah, Shane, that's who you should talk to. So you can just call back that number and walk through things. Yeah, I should mention that. So, you know what I love talking about? Marketing and art. Anytime it's like something to do, like what am I supposed to be doing for my job? I forget completely. If you want the guided tour of what we do as a business at Art Storefronts, it's otherwise called a demo. It's like, an hour Zoom call, walk you through all the plans, all the bells, all the whistles, the back end, what the websites look like, all that jazz. You can request one of those on our website. There's buttons literally everywhere. Put them in our emails, put them all over the place. You can just fill out that form. Somebody will call you, get you all dialed in, and you can check it all out. But I hope you found the day valuable. I hope you guys have an incredible rest of your Friday, incredible weekend, and hope to see you on a future session or on the podcast or on a live. On that note, my computer is melting down now. Zoom just froze up, which is funny. But if you guys can still hear me talking, I can't even close the Zoom down. I've literally got like the blue screen of